What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I got a video talking about Jalen Green. I just kind of wanted to go over some of the reasons why I think that he has the potential or is the type of player that could be the #1 overall pick in tonight's draft. Now, in no way am I saying that he should be or that he's a better player than Cade. I just kind of wanted to go over some of the reasons why that he is that type of player that could be a #1 overall pick. I know there's a lot of draft analysts I've heard talk about, that all three of the top prospects in this year's draft, Cade, Jalen, and Evan, they're all, #1 overall type guys. And so I just kind of wanted to make a video about, Jalen Green, and I'll have another one I think go up about Evan, and just kind of give their reasons why I think they could, fight for that #1 spot. And just a disclaimer, I guess, when I'm making this video, there's been no for sure thing that Detroit is going to be taking Cade #1. So like I said, when I'm making this, it's not guaranteed, even though it's thought, that Cade will go #1. It's not, written in stone when I'm making this. And so just kind of wanted to give the reasons why. And with that being said, let's get into it. So what makes Jalen Green a potential #1 overall pick? Or what characteristics does he have that would put him at that level? Well, I think obviously the big thing with Jalen Green is his athleticism. The dude's an insane athlete. He's gonna, come into the NBA and be, in that 99th percentile of players with their athleticism. He's a freak athlete. Can do really anything you want athletically. You combine that with, he's got good size for the 2-guard spot at 6'5". Obviously has to put on a little bit more weight, but athletically you can do, anything you want out of a 2-guard, and like I said, will be in the top tier of athletes the minute he steps foot in the NBA. The next thing that makes Jalen Green a top tier prospect or a potential #1 overall pick is his skill set and scoring ability. He's definitely more than just an athlete. Jalen Green has a ton of skill with that athleticism. You look at his ball handling. He's got a good handle for a 2-guard. He can make a lot of the reads. I think mainly he's an isolation type player right now, who I think is going to get more comfortable operating out of the pick and roll the longer that he's in the league. But he's got a good handle. He can do everything you want, or he can get to his spots with that handle. He's got a good snatch back, good step back, all those kind of moves you need. When he gets around the rim, he's more than just a dunker in terms of finishing. He's got a good layup package. He can use, really right now he's right hand dominant, but he's got a lot of different finishes with the right hand. He can take contact, he can finish above the rim in that regard, using his athleticism that way. He's gonna have to get better going left. That's a big thing with Jalen, is he's really right hand dominant at the moment. Everything's going to that right hand, and so he's gonna have to develop that left hand, both driving to the basket with his left hand and finishing at the hoop with the left hand. But the skill set, it's there. Jump shot is pretty streaky at the moment. He had, an up and down bubble, I guess you could say, or kind of just, like I said, it was a small sample size at 15 games, but it was streaky. He had some good games, he had some bad games shooting the ball. Overall, like I said, I think he's going to be a streaky shooter early in his NBA career, and I think he's really going to operate out of that mid-range area a ton. I think that's going to be kind of his go-to spots in terms of scoring the ball, and he's got a lot of different ways to get to those mid-range spots, whether it's step backs, snatch backs, anything of that nature. I think that's kind of where he's going to make his bread and butter early in his career. And then, as his career, moves on, I think he's going to get that 3-ball more consistent. And I wouldn't be shocked to see him shoot, in that 38-40% range from 3 later in his career. I think another thing that's really a positive or a plus for Jalen Green is his combination of work ethic and mindset. From all things that I've heard about him, Jalen Green is an extremely hard-working player. He's someone who's, I think, really loves the game of basketball. Someone who wants to get better and wants to be great, and that kind of goes in there with like the mindset that he has. He talks about wanting to be great. He talks about wanting to get better, and I think that's what you need out of a prospect, because all these guys at the top of the draft, they're all talented, and it's going to come down to how bad do these guys want to be great. And obviously fit, things of that nature, but a lot of that's on them. Are they going to be complacent, being a top 3 pick in the draft and not getting better? and, you know, averaging his 20, 25 points a game and not, you know, taking that next step with his game. And I don't think Jalen Green's that type of player. I think he wants to be great. I think he wants to be, you know, a top player in the league. And I think that's something that he's going to work on. And I think that, you know, you can't overlook that when talking about a player. He's not, you know, someone like, you know, people talk about Andrew Wiggins and being lazy. I don't think he's that type of player. I think he wants to get better. And so I think you got to take that into account when talking about, you know, a top pick and someone who could potentially go, you know, number 1 in the draft. I think the 2 question marks kind of with Jalen Green are kind of going to be his defense. How locked in is he going to be on that end of the floor? The good news for him is that he's got a ton of potential on that end. And if he locks into that or can just get himself to commit to that end of the floor, I think he can be average to above average on the defensive side of the ball. He's got, you know, like I said, it's good height at 6'5", athleticism to obviously stay with anyone. He's just got to put on some weight and commit to that end of the floor. I think the other kind of question mark with Jalen Green is how good of a playmaker can he be, or can he do more, you know, in an NBA setting other than just score the ball? I think that's going to be the big thing with Jalen is, you know, is he going to be someone who makes his teammates better? Is he going to contribute to wins? Because obviously I think we got a lot of players in the NBA right now that can, you know, put up 25, 30 points a game, but they don't necessarily contribute to wins or make deep playoff runs doing that. And so what's going to separate Jalen from players like that? I think that, you know, ultimately becoming a better playmaker is something he's going to have to do. The good thing is I think that it's something that, you know, the G League coaches talked about that he got better on throughout, you know, the bubble season. And I think obviously that's something that's only going to improve, you know, once he gets to the league. So overall, I really like Jalen Green. I think his game has really grown on me here the last couple of months, or I guess since kind of the draft, you know, process started or whatnot. Before, you know, that started, I kind of had him as, you know, the 3 to 5, somewhere in there. Just kind of, you know, a mix with Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Kuminga, players like that. But now after, you know, hearing other people talk about him, after hearing him talk, seeing more of his game, I really like his game, and I think he's got a really high ceiling, and I think there's a good chance that he reaches that ceiling. I think ultimately he'll get drafted number 2 overall to the Rockets, but, you know, I think at the number 1 spot it wouldn't be a bad pick, because I definitely think he's the type of player who could potentially lead the league in scoring someday. And so, you know, if you get that type of player with the number 1 overall pick, you know, it wouldn't be a bad pick by, you know, any stretch of the imagination. And so overall, I don't think you can go wrong with either of the 3 players, but like I said, Jalen Green's a good prospect. Really like him, and I think he's got, you know, a bright future moving forward. So leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of Jalen Green. Should he be the number 1 overall pick, or do you have someone like Cade or, you know, whoever, Evan Mobley going number 1? Leave those thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.